stream.
Oh, we're coming on. Oh, we're starting to talk before we start to talk, Andy.
We're live.
We are live and in person from my big purple couch and you from your office. How are you today, Andy?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It's a beautiful day out there. It's a busy day. I've got lots of things lined up, but I'm really glad we could do this on a Saturday. Something a little bit different. Yes.
Exactly. You know, it's just like the real estate market. It's very different these days.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, happy Easter to you and your family. And so what are you doing for Easter this year?
Yeah, tomorrow is a day off. A lot of my clients, they don't even watch some showings tomorrow. It's family day. We're gonna enjoy spending some time with family, doing a brunch. I'm doing a brunch, homemade hash browns, homemade pulled pork, homemade pulled beef, some eggs on the griddle, mimosas. And I think we're gonna finish off with some strawberries and Cointreau with a white chocolate mousse.
And I have your phone number, so I'm going to text you later my order just to let you know. I have something exciting. I'm actually heading into Fort Langley tomorrow. Yeah. I am going to be helping out Julia at Mangia E Scappa from 12 to 4 with her Easter bread. So if you need some Easter bread for your brunch, stop on by. I'd love to see you tomorrow.
Actually, Julia is the one that taught me how to make the white chocolate mousse.
Ooh, yes. Very nice. Yes. So from filling our bellies in our homes, what's the market like right now?
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I mean, we are actually starting to see some changes in the marketplace. And here, let me share my screen. And
perfect. You know, numbers talk. Andy can talk all he wants, but the numbers talk louder.
Sure. Let's get right into it. So here we are. Joining us in our live stream. So market statistics, sales for the have been for the month of March were 2580. That was a 41% increase from February 2022, and however a 22.5 decrease from March 2021. So we can see that the market sales are starting to increase this year. However, it is slightly 22% less than last year. And supply of new inventory in March 2022 increased 22%. We're starting to see a lot of listings coming on board. It was a decrease, although 6% compared to last year. However, this was the highest recorded supply of new inventory for the month of February.
Wow.
And we're really starting to see a lot of homes come up for sale. And of course, here's our listings to sales. And you can see that there's starting to be a bit of a similarity where, you know, in previous months, this listing was way down, the sales were way up. There was very, very little room here for, you know, for inventory, and the sales were happening very, very quickly, which meant it was a very dry market and not enough inventory for buyers to find what they're looking for. And now we're starting to see this inventory pick up. You know, here's this from last month, and of course the sales are picking up, but there's a lot more choice out there. And here we're going with the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board months of inventory, and you know, this is the big chart that we always look at every month. And you can see that, you know, even though there are more listings coming on the market, we did have a bit of a drop of inventory in terms of what it was actually out there. But this is going to be corrected very, very shortly. So, you know, here we are still very much in a low inventory position. Here's our balanced market of 6 months inventory. We've got 2 months worth of detached home. Apartments or condos are still at 1.1%. We're starting to see a little bit of shift. I think last month, condos were a little higher and detached homes were a little lower. And when the affordability is starting to take buyers out of detached homes, and they're starting to look at townhouses and condominiums.
Okay.
However, pricing is still going up, and here's our Fraser Valley Housing Price Index. But we're starting to see a little bit of a change here. Hopefully, this will level out, and interest rates went up by half a point.
Mhm.
More inventory is coming out, and we're peaking in terms of pricing. So we're not seeing the huge number of offers at offer presentation time. And I've actually seen some home inspections in the last little while. So it's starting to level off, even, and hopefully we'll get back to what would be considered a normal market, and and that people can make informed decisions.
If I can just pose a
Sure.
question, with
Yeah.
you mentioned about the mortgage rate going up. So super important that you have somebody like Rita Cousins kind of in your back pocket, your front pocket
Yes.
going forward, right?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, Rita and I were like a team. I refer buyers or sellers to her almost immediately, because I think it's very, very important that they have that discussion with her on what they can afford. And I know a lot of buyers, they find out that they're approved for a lot more money, but they don't want to spend that much, because they know that they're not only is the cost of housing going up, but also the cost of living has gone up. So
True.
things like gas, food, groceries, and all those day-to-day expenses, they're going up. So that's taking money away from where you want to put, your mortgage payment. So even though you get approved for a mortgage payment of XXX, it's probably most likely that you don't want to go that full length of mortgage approval.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So here's Langley, our hometown, and again, we can start to see that detached homes, they're starting to move up in terms of inventory, and condominiums 1%, and so less than 1 month's of supply, and it is starting to look more and more like we're reaching a top in terms of pricing and affordability. And here's our graph for the MLS statistics, and you can see that it's starting to level off a bit. Although here we're looking at $1,768,600 for the home price index home, as opposed to a year ago it was $1,279,600. And that, we're looking at a $500,000 increase in 1 year, which is I don't think it's sustainable, and that we will see a leveling off in terms of pricing. And you can see condos leveling off. Townhouses still, it had a good month, but in general, I think we're going to start to see a more level, saner market in the few months ahead.
Okay, just a quick question for you, Andy. Are you
Sure.
seeing some people, when the chart that you had before, that 0.98 and then the 1.6, I think was the houses that you had listed? Yeah, the inventory, the 1.6. Do you think people are say putting their house on the market, taking whatever the equity is and trying to buy an apartment, kind of living smaller, or understanding what they need to live in, and now quote unquote cashing out? Is that the right terminology?
Yeah, I've seen actually, but I've had clients that we've sold their detached home, the family home, and they bought 2 condos in the same building, and so they moved into one and they rented out the other, and that way they could keep tabs of that rental, and manage it very well. And it turned, they keep their finger into the real estate market, they get a positive cash flow out of it, and it's they know the building well because they're actually living there, and they can manage that rental.
Well, and you'll really need to have somebody like you, because when you say you go from 1 and needing to buy 2, you're twice the amount of paperwork over here. So it's so important to have somebody like you in your back pocket. Going through one transaction is enough, but going through 2 at the same time.
Yeah, it's all in the timing. And I've worked with clients that they've sold their acreage, and they've moved into a condo, so they're totally private acreage where they cannot see another house, and they've downsized into a condo. And there was a long conversation. Is this something that you really wanted? And it did, and she's been very happy ever since. It's been a little while now. She's got a tremendous view of the Fraser River, but you always have those concerns of is this the right thing that you want to do?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our statistics. Generally, we're seeing a market that's starting to level off, more inventory coming out, and but we're entering that spring market. I'm doing 3 open houses today, and
Perfect. So let's stop sharing
oh,
screen so we can
yeah,
go back on. And that was my
sure,
next question with
yeah.
how exciting the market is and the spring is and all those houses coming on. What are some of your open houses that are happening today?
Yes, so yeah, we're doing 3 open houses. One is at 8995 Trattle Street. That's located in Fort Langley. It's over 3,000 square foot home on a 15,000 square foot lot. You got to come out and see this one. It's a private yard, nicely renovated throughout. We've had a lot of interest on this home, 8 or 9 showings per day, and I expect the open house to be fully packed. And then we've got a nice little townhouse. It's actually under $1 million, a 9206 McBride. You're probably about a block to the downtown core. This has been nicely renovated too. It's got a brand new kitchen, some new flooring, and it's priced. I mean, for Fort Langley, it's priced under $1 million, which actually means something. And we're doing an open house there today too at 2 to 4, and then. Thirdly, in Willoughby, I've got a townhouse listed for sale. It's number 35, 8371 202 B Street. And this is one of those townhouses where a roof top deck, so that she's got some great North Shore views. And there are newer buildings that are below her, so she's never going to lose that view. And you're going to need to come out and see that one too.
Wow. I want to ask you, do you have a cloning machine? You're going to be running all over the place today.
I do the Star Trek transporter thing from house to house. Actually, I mentor realtors. I work with realtors in our office, and we're 2 other realtors that are in there doing open houses, and probably sometimes better because they can interact better with the buyer. I can as the listing agent, and so they can just feel a bit more about the neighborhood and talk a little bit more to the buyers about what they're looking for.
Well, we're going to leave it there because I'm going to now say Hoppy Easter, because I think you're going to be hopping today. And I wish you and Nina and your beautiful family a beautiful Easter brunch tomorrow.
Well, thank you.
And
are you going to be out looking for Easter eggs, chocolate Easter eggs?
Well, I was at a local chocolatier called the Truffle Pig in Burnaby the other day and bought a beautiful, cute little box of chocolates that are wrapped in plastic. So they're going to hide them next door. So I gifted them to the family next door because I'm going to be with Easter bread. That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, say hi to Julia for me.
Absolutely. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. All the best to you, Jeanette. Take care. And we'll see you next month.